Now, those who don't know history are bound to repeat the same mistake. So today, allow me to talk about this issue of privatization. But before I talk about that, we need to go back. You see, history doesn't repeat itself, you see, but it rhymes. So I want you to know how the history I'm going to talk about is going to rhyme with what is happening in Kenya. Back then, we had a country that was called the USSR, the United Soviet Socialist Republic, which currently now is known as Russia. And at that time, it was the largest country, in that it was an amalgamation of many countries, with the mother country being Russia, and then they had satellite countries which owed their allegiance to the mother country, Russia. So some of these satellite nations were countries like Ukraine, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, Bosnia, Poland, Belarus. Majority of these Eastern Europe countries. Now, at that time, there was something called the Cold War. Basically, this was a war between America and USSR. USSR was socialism, America was capitalism. It was not an actual war where they fought, but it was a Cold War of chest thumping. And indeed, if there was any war, they did it with their proxy nations, those who are aligned to them. You see. So, with time, the Cold War fizzled out. And finally, it came to an end when the Berlin Wall was brought down. Now, the current Germany we see today, at that time, there was West Germany, which was pro-America, and East Germany, which was pro-USSR. So that's how Germany was. It was two Germanys, West and East Germany. So the wall was brought down, and after the wall was brought down, the Cold War came to an end. Those in the West and those in the East came and they aligned and they started mingling with each other, which is quite good. So with that also, a significant change happened in USSR. These small countries started seeking their autonomy. So with time, the entire USSR got fragmented, and these small countries became self-autonomous, independent, and they left Russia, which is now Russia by itself. So after that, there were a lot of economic challenges. There was inflation, there was unemployment, there was basically just the economic challenges a country can face. And at that time, the president was a guy called Boris Yeltsin. So Boris Yeltsin went to America and he asked them, I need your help. I'm having a lot of challenges with the economy. And if I don't do anything, my people will eat me. How can you people help me? So America told them, yeah, we are willing to help you. But you know, America usually, if they're going to help you, it's quid pro quo. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. They don't help you without a plan or without getting something in return. So they told Boris, okay, fine. We can pump money into your kennel, but before we do that, there's something you need to do. So Boris asked them, what can I do? They told them, you need to start privatization. Privatize all government assets. Now, Russia at that time was a socialist republic. When we talk about socialist republic, socialism basically means everything is state-owned and operated. There's no private ownership. Even that cow, that goat, that chicken you're rearing, it is for the government. When they want to come pick it and cook it, they will come and you'll do nothing. That house you built with your own money belongs to the government. Unlike capitalism, where there's privatization. Citizens are allowed to own things, do things without government as long as you pay your taxes. So that was the difference. So Boris had no choice. He had to go back and do that. So Boris came back and started privatizing. You see? So in the process of privatization, he created something called oligarchs. Now, an oligarch is an extremely, and I mean extremely wealthy individual and a person who has immense power to control government. He can dictate appointments, he can dictate tenders, he can dictate resignations and people being fired. Something similar to state capture. So when Boris came back, he contacted his friends. And he told his friends, there's a plan here. You see all these things that are owned by the government? Buy them. And he told his friends, go for the lucrative ones. One, energy, where there's oil and gas. Russia is a big producer of oil and gas. Number two, go into media. He who controls the media controls the people. Number three, go to telecommunication. The world is evolving. People need to communicate. We want to make the world a global village. Go to defense. Countries are spending highly on defense. And a country that is known to be military strong will be respected. So he told his friends, start buying these things. Start buying them. But now the problem is, they were being bought in unscrupulous ways. They were not being bought at their market value. If a state asset at that time cost like maybe 2 billion, it would be even sold for 500 million. And then after they buy it, they resuscitate it and they rejuvenate it into making profits. You see, and that's how we got these wealthy people called oligarchs. And we know some of them like Roman Abramovich. He was once the owner of Chelsea, a very wealthy guy, a very young and wealthy guy, living opulent and ostentatious lifestyles. You get it? We had Boris Baravosky, very rich people, and too many to mention. Too many to mention. So now, that's how these people became rich. And now, let's talk about now our own Kenya here. And I told you, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So what happened then in the 90s is now happening in 2025. And this government is using that playbook. They are now privatizing government assets. You see, now look at Kenya Pipeline. This is a national and strategic asset. And I don't think it should be privatized. The last time I checked, Kenya Pipeline was enjoying a monopoly. So there's no competition. And the last time I checked, it was generating revenue for this government. There's no problem with privatization. However, were rules followed? Was there public participation? No. Was there parliamentary oversight? No. Was there regulatory compliance? No. All those were bypassed. And when those three are bypassed, then just know things are being done in a murky way. Cabinet has no power to make laws or to approve anything. Cabinet is part of the executive. They help the government or the president run the country. Yes, they can sit and come up with ideas, but anything they say must go through parliament. And the case of this Kenya Pipeline, it should have gone through parliament. Not only parliament, even Senate for approval. But they bypassed that. This is a security asset. You're privatizing it. In the event of war, such assets are targeted. Now, if you give it to a private individual, does he have the capacity to protect it? And like if it was a government-run asset, they would have the capacity. They will position defense missiles, air defense missiles over there, and soldiers for it to be protected. And I'm telling you, this Kenya Pipeline will be bought by the same people who are in government, the people who are pushing for it to be privatized. It's very unfortunate. Look at the sugar sector. All our factories have been given out. Muhoroni, Chemelil, Mumias, Awasi, all of them have been given out. And these factories, all of them are moribund. They are not even operating. But go to the supermarket today, you'll find sugar from with Mumias packaging. Mumias has not even crushed cane in the last 2 years or 3 years. They don't even have the capacity. Their machines are dilapidated. But how is it we have Mumias sugar kwa shelf? How? Getting rid of this government is a reality, and it will be an eventuality. You cannot privatize an asset like Kenya Pipeline. You cannot. That is very wrong. This is a strategic asset. Let us not be profit-oriented. Let us be strategic-oriented. And why are they doing these things and not following the law? And other than removing Kasongo, parliament needs to go. This is the worst parliament we have. If it quacks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it is a duck. The entire parliament is compromised and they have to go. These people are hawking us to the highest bidder. These are things that we the taxpayers pay the government to maintain them, to run them, and to pay the people who operate them. Go to Ethiopia over here. Look at Ethiopian Airlines. It is a fully run and state-owned entity. One of the best airlines in Africa and one of the best in the world. But you'll never hear the government saying they're going to privatize it. No, they fully own it. There are certain things you need to fully have control as a government. It's okay to privatize, but privatize the ones that are making losses. The ones that are more of a liability than an asset. Kenya Pipeline is an asset. Whether it makes a loss or a profit, it is an asset because it deals with energy. And energy is a backbone of the community or of any nation. This is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Next, what will they do? They'll privatize what? KICC. Central Bank. Mbaff.
Do you know why there's so much talk about selling the Kenya Pipeline Company and why the courts have stepped in to stop it? The Kenya Pipeline Company, or KPC, is one of the most profitable state corporations we have. Last year alone, it made more than 10 billion shillings in profit, with revenues of over 35 billion shillings. It controls the pipelines that transport fuel from Mombasa to Nairobi, Western Kenya, and even to our neighbors like Uganda, Rwanda, and South Sudan. This means it is not just a company, it's a national lifeline. The government, under President William Ruto, wants to sell 65% of KPC through an IPO to raise around 100 billion shillings. The stated reason is to reduce debt and open up ownership. But here's the problem. Critics argue fuel prices could rise sharply if private owners hike transport charges. Kenya would lose strategic control of one of its most important assets, and foreign buyers might prioritize profit over national interest. That's why the High Court stopped the sale temporarily after a petition by consumer groups who said there was no proper consultation or transparency.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mengi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies even nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe. Pile up, yoni.
Enyewe, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.